Welcome to Board Game Empire. Today we're going to do a review of Lizard Wizard by Forbidden Games. This is a great kind of like economic game. It has a little bit of stock where the stocks are fluctuating. It's more fantasy themed because it has mandrakes. I am new, Nightshade. You're card drafting, you're bidding, just a lot of different things in the game that you can do. It's point salad type of game. It has a little bit of take that element to it. And so there's a lot to this game. Also, the game is huge. And so you're going to need a lot of table space. It's a table hog. So just remember, if you get this game, that you're going to need this space. We have a huge table with a leaf in the middle, and it's still almost goes beyond it. So, great game. So we're just going to jump right into the review. So the rules, I would give 5 out of 5. The rules are illustrated very well. The rulebook has the content. So it has illustrations. It has bold and italicized. It has examples. And so it has many examples of how each element of the game works. And so rules, 5 out of 5. It's a little simplistic. You just have to remember to, when you're doing your turn, that the tower pretty much allows you to get one more storage for your regents. And then also that you get pretty much regents from your wizards. And so you just have to remember that aspect of the game. And so you have to grab the once you use a regent and you sell, pretty much you have to grab a regent card. So you just have to remember when you obtain regents, not sell, you have to grab another regent card once you use one. You always have 3 in your hand. So rules, 5 out of 5. Component quality, I would give it 4 out of 5. Great components. The cards are nice and thick. The border's nice and thick. Everything's nice. But the box, I don't know if you can see right here, is kind of cut. I was closing it, and there's so much element, and it pretty much doesn't close all the way. It leaves a little bit of room. And when the seal, when I pressed down to pretty much make sure it closed all the way, it broke it. So it did a little cut. There's a few games that I've had that does that. This is one of them. So I would just want to make sure that everyone knows, be careful when closing it, because it will pretty much cut the box open. So components, 4 out of 5. Experience, I would give like a 4 out of 5. Great experience. Have blast. Progression is great. As you progress through the game, at first you're just obtain wizards and familiars. You're just starting out from scratch until you get your towers, and then you could have more storage space. The downtime in between players, I would say it's like 3 to 5 minutes. It actually takes a while because there's so many different. You have analysis paralysis because there's so many different things you can do. You can bid, you can get spells, you can get familiar tower, sell your regents, obtain regents. You can go through the dungeon. You can also do new research once you get familiar. And so just a lot of different things you can do. And the time length of the game we felt was kind of a little bit long. It needs to be like 20 to 30 minutes shorter. And you could do that by house rolling and taking out some of the cards. But it just felt like it needs to be a little shorter. But great experience, just a little lengthy. So 4 out of 5. Mechanics, I would give it like a 4 out of 5. Just there's so much in this game, and that's not a bad aspect of the game, but it's just a lengthy game. It just makes it a little longer because you're almost at certain times especially when you get the familiars, you're doing multiple things, and so someone's turn could be from 3 minutes to like 7 to 10 minutes. It takes a while, especially if they're buying the familiar, you know, given the resources, going through the dungeon or going through the spells. And it's just a time fleet process. So there's a lot of mechanic to it, but it's almost like a little bit too much. It's truly is analysis paralysis because you're trying to figure out if you want to get the wizards to bid, because that's one of the, there's 6 options you have in your turn, 6 actions. And so you can bid for the wizards, you can sell your regents, and then you also move the stock market. You could do the spells, buy a spell, you can buy a familiar, you could go through a dungeon, buy a tower. If you get the familiar, then you have 4 options. You could do new research, which you get rid of the spell cards, the 4 that are pretty much face up, and then you pretty much get to pick one from, you get a certain amount of spells, so you get to pick one, 4 new ones, and you get to pick one of them without paying the 5 mana cost. You can enter dungeon, you collect certain regents, and you also could get 1 gold, depending on your pretty much your wizard or your trait, I guess, for your cards. And so the mechanics, I would give 4 out of 5. Replayability, I would give this a 3 out of 5 because it's extremely fun and there's a lot of elements to it. And it has a point solid, take that element that we really enjoy. It just overextends itself. Also, the downtime between players and also the setup time. It takes probably like 5 to 10 minutes to set up, or maybe 10 to 15. But the teardown, putting back, takes a lot longer. It's like 15 to probably 20, 25, because you want to put everything back in order, like the towers with the tower cards, the wizards with the wizard cards, the familiar. So you're looking at 60 to 90 minutes, or probably longer. And then you're also looking at like 5, 10, 15 minutes of set time, and then 15 to 25 minutes of teardown time. So you're looking at least 2 hours, 2.5 hours altogether. So the replayability makes it really rough. And although there's a lot of cards and a lot of things that allows it to be highly replayable, it's just the setup time and the length of the game really does hurt it a little bit. So 3 out of 5 in the replayability. Overall total, I would give it like a 3.5 out of 5, 7.5 out of 10. It's a great game, and we love all the elements to it. We love the card design, the dungeon, the bidding. Well, some of us did. My wife is not too fond of bidding. I enjoy it. Our son does. But there's a lot of elements. We love the stock market aspect of the game. It's just that the length of the game we felt was a little longer than, and especially if, for me, because I'm the one who normally sets up and tears down. Sorry about sneeze. And so it's a lot of time invested into the game. And we just felt if it was 20, 30 minutes shorter, this would be like an amazing game. And like I said, we could house rule it, but we played it as is and with the rules. So that's why I'm giving like a 7.5 out of 10. Great game. If you like long games, if you like the fantasy theme with stocks, bidding, spells, familiars, push your luck through the dungeon. A lot of great elements. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Social media is down below in the description. I'm going to have a link and where to buy the game. And we'll see you in the next video.